Alright folks, welcome to a bit of an impromptu live stream, just because I don't know, I'm at fucking a loose end and I'm bored shitless on a bank holiday Monday. And I thought, I've not really drank as much as I thought I would this weekend, so I could justify a few bank holiday, let me take that out because I can hear myself, a few bank holiday sort of drinks. In fact, I can't be asked keeping them in. Hopefully, you can still hear me with it like that. So, don't think anyone's watching at the moment. No, we'll put it back in our ear. So, I keep looking at, because I've got my MacBook set up as well. Yeah, it seems everyone's pretty busy on a bank holiday. So, yeah, YouTube has sort of taken a bit of a backseat, really. As you've probably seen, there have been reviews that have gone up again where the title isn't finished, there's no information in the description, and there's no thumbnails. I don't know, I've not like lost sort of interest in YouTube, but I've sort of lost interest in YouTube, if that makes sense. And the live streams are always sort of like an easy go-to, really. Don't have to worry about upload times, don't have to worry about recording, don't have to worry about the iPhone getting filled up with videos and transferring into my Google Drive and then download them on my MacBook so I could upload them. And yeah, it's just the whole process of YouTube recently is sort of, and yeah, it's also affected the podcast as well, which I don't know when I'm going to do the next episode, really. I suppose I could do it tonight. I don't know. I haven't got the thumbnail ready for that either. And I've still got all the Blu-rays on the floor from the first part of that one. But we'll see. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, so today, got a couple of beers. Well, these are two of a trilogy of coffee porters from, or trio, I should say, not trilogy. That sounds really dickish. 3 coffee porters from, well, 2. Picked up 3 because I can't remember if these ones that I bought or Adam just picked up for me, but he's doing like a bit of a Brew by Numbers haul. So it's either ones that I've bought and Adam's dropped off, or Adam's actually gifted to me, so I do apologise. Got Harry from Blue's Beer Reviews, the Uphill Gardener, saying, "Hi cutie, I think I need new glasses. Good evening, gorgeous. Well, evenings, afternoon. Fucking hell." So, yeah, this is 2 coffee porters from Brew by Numbers who do coffee porters very, very well. In fact, they do dark beers really, really well. They also do pale beers really, really well. They do good lagers. They do really good sours as well. They're just fundamentally a good brewery. But I've really enjoyed the coffee porters that I've had from them. So obviously their coffee porter is number 10. And the 2 that we're doing today, the other one I'm going to save for review, or if Adam's still got one of the cans, you might see a joint review. Because I think that was part of the thinking process of me picking these up, was to do some live stuff with Adam. Not live stuff in that way. Get your mind out the gutter. Or keep it there. Because that's where my mind is recently. Let's just say I'm subscribing to probably too many people on OnlyFans at this moment. And I think I can officially say, sat here in my dungarees, I'm a fucking simp. Plain and simple. I think I'm now officially a simp. I've been a soy boy, kind of been a cuckold, but now I am truly a simp. But hey, I'm supporting working girls. And I've spent most of my adolescence not paying for that sort of stuff. So it's about time I gave back to the community. Anyway, don't know where that came from. So we were talking about 2 coffee porters. Oh, it was talking about live stuff, wasn't it? I don't know. I fundamentally don't know anymore. You can see why I'm at a loose end now. So, yeah, 2 coffee porters. The first one is Sumava, 9.5% ABV. And the second one is Doi Siket. I hope that's how it's pronounced. So, I shall quickly get the information. Well, I think it's only fair. Helps if you're actually showing the screen. There we are. Where's that gone now? So they've got all the tabs ready. So, Brew by Numbers got a nice little video there at the start of their website. I can't remember what the name of a first page of a website's called, so you're not going to get that from me today. But and I'm sure the fact that it's showing video, it's going to disrupt the stream slightly. You say that there's only one person watching, Peter, so don't worry about it. But it's not about that, really. It's about, you know, people can watch this once it's gone live for playback. And I am running a bit late, half an hour late, because I got a phone call from a friend from work who was, I was supposed to be, we were going to a friend's last night, but I couldn't be asked after watching the most disappointing finale to a TV series I've seen for a long time, Line of Duty. I just wasn't asked anyway, I just couldn't be bothered drinking and socialising, to be honest. We've got Adam, who says, afternoon, I haven't drank mine yet, still got a load of IPAs to drink first. Yeah, I'm pretty much running out of beer again, and it's just stronger stuff. But good afternoon, Adam. Hope you're doing well. So yeah, Brew by Numbers, and both of these beers are brewed in collaboration with Has Been. I think they've done. Have they done all the? No, I don't think they've done all the number 10s. But for this sort of like mini series within a series, I think it is solely Has Been, and these guys are out of London, I believe. I like his cap. So now a little bit of a. Let's show you that. Latest in my mug episode. Nice, got a podcast, a little bit of an about me. If I remember to do so, I'll put the links in the description. Good reviews, and well, these guys are actually out of Stafford, not London. Because I'm sure Brew by Numbers, when they do collaborations with like non-breweries, it's a bit more London-centric. I'm not too sure. Could be completely wrong with that. And we've got Brian, who says, hi, Peter. Hi, Brian. Hope you're doing well. So that's Has Been. And there's Brew by Numbers. Let's have a quick look, see what beers they've got at the moment. Might have a cheeky look at the merch as well. I mean, we've still got a can of that. Was it the Cherry Trifle? I can't remember. Adam kindly gifted me that one. And there you go. You've got the 3 other variant. Well, you've got the 3 variants there, and there's the third one is Musasa Bukunda Kawa, which you will be seeing me doing a review of. But oh, by the way, it's a little bit disappointed with that one. Not gonna lie, I was expecting a bit more flavour, but I've got another bottle to see how it ages. And let's check on the merchandise. Oh, I do say, I didn't realise he had sweaters. Can't really afford to buy anything, but hey ho, it is what it is. That's nice, that, and I like that. Annoying shape, £6 as well. Anyway, so let's just have a quick look at the comments while we get the Untapped pages up. Running out of beer. Have you gone through all the top rope? Did you get the can information for that stout? I'll put that comment up. I've still got the Citra IPA. I've just been intermittently having sort of like beers throughout the weekend. And I think that stout can is in the recycling bin, so I'll have to fish it out because, yeah, it just seemed like there was something a bit wrong with it. But yeah. But I'll get that information over. Yes, I have 2 cherry trifles left. All the coffee origins are in different countries as well. Yeah, so it's not just brewing, beer with coffee. There's actually a lot of thought and effort that's gone into it, and that's what I sort of like. Not only with breweries doing collaborations with coffee roasters and cafes and that sort of thing, but I like sort of like the independent coffee places as well. And yeah, you've got to pay a little bit more for your coffee, but it's better than that fucking Nescafe Gold Blend shite. Although I've got a nice instant coffee for work. Got picked up from Tesco's. Can't remember who did it though, but yeah, when you can, it's always good if you're a coffee lover to just invest in a grinder, not the app, some form of serving it, and just buying some good coffee beans. I say that I've got loads that I've not used yet. So, the first one, Samarva, 9.5% ABV. We won't go into the reviews as of yet. So for our latest coffee port series, we collaborated with Hasbeen, brewing with coffee from 3 incredible producers across 3 different continents. This porter uses Samarva, a lactic processed coffee from Costa Rica. In the process, this unique coffee is bold and vibrant with a juicy, overripe fruit character, sitting alongside a rich and dark malt base. And do I have the information from the website? It's quite a bit of information, so I'm not going to read all of that. But this is what I like. It's not just about the coffee. They give you all the sort of specifications, where it's come from, the method. So roasting information, medium. Take it slow as you're going to cracking. Give it plenty of development in first before dropping it in the gap. Quick look guide: floral, jasmine, white sugar, lemon, green apple, plum, jam, and spice. So rather fruity. And there's all your cupping notes. Now, as much as I love coffee, I know next to absolutely fuck all about coffee itself. But it is something that I'm slowly learning about, just because I couldn't function without coffee. I really, really couldn't. Let's see. Adam says probably oxidised during canning in regards to top rope. And definitely need some more decent impy stouts in my arsenal, says Harry. And then Nescafe tastes like dirty dishwater. I usually drink Dow Egert's Gold Instant. I can't be arsed with my cup of tea. Investing in a machine with a timer and a heater in the near future. Yeah, I'd love to properly invest in a good coffee implement. What do I use? I mean, I've got a French press, which is okay, but I've also got one of those. I can't remember what they're called. It's where you put the plastic. It's sort of like shaped like a cup, but it's got obviously a spout in it, and then you put your filter in. Then you put your ground coffee, and then you pour it over. It's sort of like a T90's Terminator. But something I can't remember what it's called. But that does me fine. And I've got a little electronic coffee bean roaster, which was bought for my birthday. I did actually have a manual grinder, sort of like shaped in like I think it's like a Chinese antique sort of. I don't know what it is, but it took absolutely fucking ages to grind the coffee. Percolator, says Adam. There you go. But yeah, it's just so easy, isn't it? Just to get a spoonful out of the instant, pour it in, and job's done. You don't have to worry about letting the water cool down before you pour it in. Just do it. Blah, 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 blah. There are some good instant coffees, don't get me wrong, but Nescafe Gold Blend is... The worst thing, though, that I've ever had to have is the coffee that we have in work, because they go for like the big tubs of like Asda's dry coffee. It's just not good. It's not good at all. I'm sure there's a quote out there where it's like, there's only one thing worse than bad coffee: no coffee. Not when you've had that shit. So that's the Samava. I'm not sure if this is going to be the exact same blend that they've used for this. And then we've got the next one, Doi Saket. Let's see, so same pretty much information there. So the porter utilises Doi Saket in the process, a unique natural coffee from Thailand with a distinct Dundee cake flavour. Currants, almonds and sultanas on top of a rich dark malt base. Never had a Dundee cake, but that sounds absolutely wonderful. And then this is the information for this is archived, so I'm not too sure. I mean, it's 2018, but I'm sure there's information on here that sort of translates to that. So, quick look guide. Hang on a minute. Doi Saket, we're looking at the wrong one. From Thailand. Roast information, medium dark, dropping in just as you're reaching the first pops of second crack. Quick look guide, malt loaf, prune, fig, sultana. Very nice indeed. And as said, I'll try and remember to put links in the description if anyone's interested, so you can check it out for yourself. And also at the end of this, I'll probably just show a couple of places that I like buying coffee from, if anyone's interested. It would be, I don't know, there's part of me thinking I should do something, a series relating to actual coffee, but no. No. I know next to fuck all about beer, so why would I start doing something about coffee? So glasses today are the Biera de Noel and the Umbard, which is one of my favourite glasses. Brian says, Dundee cake sounds like a form of torture. Is it tasty? Is it tasty torture? I wonder what will constitute tasty torture. One Stop Gold is vile. Oh, we've not shown the comments. I can absolutely imagine that being utter piss water will probably taste better. So there we go. Yeah, pretty much the information on Untapped correlates to what's written on the can, so you don't need to read those again. And yeah, very nice. I mean, in the trio, I mean, I could have done all three of them, but I don't really want to do that at 2 o'clock in the afternoon or approaching 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So you'll see a separate video of that. But if Adam still has it, then I'm more than happy to do a live review, because we did have something planned, but there we go. So really nice, vibrant. I like the characters they've used for the numbers on this. Nice colour scheme as well. So without any further ado, let's get them open and see what we get. So the Doi Saket is going in the Biera de Noel. I can't remember which other variants I've had, but I have enjoyed them. And it'll probably be a case of me getting a thumbnail much later after the stream. And then in the Umbard, we're going with the Samava. I may also do a little bit of a cuvee. We shall see. But maybe not. But probably will. And says, nice dungarees. How's your Dexys Midnight Runners tribute band going? Well, once venues can open up again, you'll see what we're made of. I thought I'd dress like a coffee roaster. Someone who'd like work in tack in Manchester. Anyway, so beer's in the glass then. I tell you what, I'm loving the dungaree life. Dead comfy, even though I'd imagine this is what maternity wear feels like. But I need to find a decent pair of corduroy dungarees that don't cost, you know, nearly £100. Because the only decent ones I've really seen are like from Dickies, and I'm not that much invested into the dungaree game to invest that much money. But I've had good compliments from the ladies in work. Most of them are over the age of 50, but hey, I'll take anything that I can get. Anyway, so beers in the glass then. You've got eyes, so you don't really need for me to describe them. Pretty much jet black. Coffee looking head. It looks like black coffee. Shock horror. So, can I remember which I put in? I put the... Did I put the Samava in the Beer de Noël and the Doisaket in the Unbarred? I've already forgotten because I'm an idiot. But hey, it's not really about... Well, it is sort of comparing, seeing what similarities and differences that they have, because, you know, coffee can be so vast and diverse. And we're not going to get into discussions like that. Hi everyone, says Thomas. Please like and share. Well, thank you, Thomas. People seem to do a much better job than me than actually promoting my channel. Let's see. Brian says, I once saw a guy wearing a shirt saying, "Come on, Eileen." Yeah, definitely. I should have messed it. I mean, I've got the bandanas that I could wrap around my neck, and I've got berets. Just get a flat cap. Let's see. Only kidding. You know I love your style. Well, thank you, Adam. Very much appreciate that. I never understand why brewers at posh breweries wear dungarees. Because they want it to be like an aesthetic, don't they? They want to be seen as a brewer. You know, dungarees, the work jacket. I own both. Plaid shirt. I own one of those. Don't have a massive beard. I do have thick rimmed glasses, and then a beanie, but I don't look good in beanies. But yeah, it is almost like an aesthetic. But yeah, Thailand in Beer de Noël glass that was Doisaket, wasn't it? I am an idiot. I'm an absolute idiot. Yeah, Doisaket in the Beer de Noël. Thank you, Adam. So I nearly butchered this already. I came on Eileen. I see. Yeah, because there was like wasn't there like a famous Halloween costume where it's like a woman's dress with like a t-shirt but just says Eileen and it's got all stains on it. The t-shirt, I said, yes. There we go. So we're now up to date. So let's have a look at the two. Well, we've already had a look at them. So I've not done anything like this for a while. So we'll start off on the Doisaket out of Thailand. Let's give it a sniff. There's a rarely pronounced sticky, fruity malt character coming through. Very prunish, very figgy. It's got that sort of like molassesy treacle, and I've noticed I've started doing this a lot when I'm reeling off flavour notes. Don't know why I do it. It's annoying. Talk with your hands. Get a bit of like brown sugar. It definitely does have sort of like a fruited, cakey aroma to it. Slight herbal notes as well. Oh, it smells really, really nice. Very nice indeed. Sort of like a steamed fruit cake, almost. So then we go over to the Samava. Oh, now this is a little bit more musky. It's definitely got a little bit more of an ever so slightly citrusy fruit aroma coming through. But again, you get those sticky malts. It's got maybe a touch more of a savoury edge to it. But yeah, it's amazing, isn't it, how there's a clear, vast difference between the two. It's maybe a subtle, almost cherry cola like aroma coming from the Samava. But this has got so much more aroma in it. It really, really has. The Doi Saquette. And I'm probably saying that wrong, so shoot me. Please do. Waders, yes. Dungers, nope. Well, again, it's just these, you know, pretentious brewers who I'm sure there's a brewery that would fit in with that sort of mentality, but I'm not saying any names. I've got no problem with these guys, by the way. I still really enjoy the beers, but I think the direction they're going in, not so much. If I was a brewer, if I were waders, the dungarees, but waterproof, pretty much, yeah. But yeah, they're just, I don't know, just it feels good just being able to stand like this and appreciate hard work that I've not done, and or I could tuck me hands in like that, like I am actually pregnant. And because we've been watching Line of Duty, I have been pretending that, yeah, I'm on a radio because I'm sad. I'm a sad, lonely 32-year-old. But we're not going to talk about that. I jest, of course. So I think it's only right that we take a sip of each now. So, as always, we'll start with the one on the left. That's not been a system I've had in place, so I don't know why I said always. So this is the Doi Saquette. Sounds fun to say that, doesn't it? Cheers, folks. First thing you'll notice, or you might not. I hate when people say shit like that. Well, the first thing you will notice about this beer, well, not necessarily. We're not a hive mind. Well, some people in the industry are, but again, we won't divulge into that sort of discussion. The body on this is beautiful. It's got a nice medium mouthfeel, but it's got quite a pronounced oiliness to it. It's got a real slick character as it's sliding on your palate. It coats the inside of your mouth beautifully. Getting a slight char-like character on the back end. There's almost like a slight smokiness to it, but I think that's down to the malts as opposed to the coffee, although the coffee could be playing a part in that, of course. Stupidly drinkable for a 9.5% Imperial Porter. Please don't tell me I've been referring to these as stouts. Interesting. Very interesting. So let's go back to the coffee. This isn't about me like picking out flavors. I'm trying to see if I can get what the coffee offers in the beer without just saying it tastes like coffee. So we'll go back to this. No, I don't want to remove. Let's stream. There we go. So which one are we on again? The Doi Saquette. Or Doi. Could be Doi Saquette. I don't know. Where's that from? Costa Rica. There we go. So, malt loaf, prune, fig, sultana. I can get that malt loaf, like a sweetened malty bread with like currants and that sort of stuff in. One of those things that I like the taste of, but I never eat because I'm just not that big of a fan. But yeah, you definitely get those sort of like fruity, curranty figgy sort of flavours on that one. I mean, the base porter itself is just... It's just absolutely fantastic. It really, really is. The porter on its own just tastes and just has... I don't know what malts they have used. Let's have a look. Does it say? No. But I mean, on the little scales that you've got, malt is 4, coffee is 5, bitterness is 3, and complexity is 4. I wouldn't say it's too bitter, but at the same time, it's not too sweet either. There's a subtle fruity sweetness to it. And it does have, if we're going to go for a blanket statement, a very strong sort of like fundamental coffee flavour. It's not like just subtly in the background. The coffee is definitely there. But I think you get more of those fruity flavours. It's a very fruity porter. And it tastes really, really nice. I wouldn't say it's as bitter as the can says on the scale. But it's just a really nice, easy drinking, yet slightly complex coffee porter. And the coffee in that is beautiful. I've not had a coffee that's had those sort of flavours. I've had it where you get like maybe a little bit of like a blackcurrant from a specific blend, and then like you get sometimes a chocolatiness. But I've never had this sort of like, it's like you've got your hand in sort of like a bag of mixed berries that you've used for when you're baking, like a malt loaf, and you've just stuck it in your mouth. That's what it sort of reminded me of. So it's almost got like a British grandmother's kitchen vibe about it. Fucking hell. I need sleeve tattoos if I'm going to dress like this. And like a neck tattoo as well. So we'll put the Untapped on. And then we'll have a look at the comments. And then we'll go on to the next beer. So here we go. Pop-ups everywhere. We'll see what people are saying about this. The rating itself is a 4.5. I would agree with that. I would definitely agree with that, actually. I might actually showcase... No, not. Because I'm a pleb. Toys the cat, there we go. And while that's there, I'll quickly read more comments. So Adam says, I feel sometimes brewers try and brew a stout, then brew it too thin and just call it a porter. There have been a few occasions where I thought exactly the same. And I can inhale a malt loaf in about 5 minutes. See, now I really want to have a malt loaf. Just in case my idea of a malt loaf has been skewed over the past few years. But yeah, I don't know. I'm more of a Jamaica cake fan myself. Don't know why they're classed as similar, by the way. I've just classified them both as similar sort of puddings, but yeah, malt loaf, bit of butter. Mind you, I don't like butter on sweet stuff. Like if I'm having scones, if I'm gonna have cream on a scone, I don't need the butter. That might be a bit of a controversial statement, but I don't know. I'm not one of these people who like fawns over butter. So, Doyce the Cat, let's see what we've got. We've got Jeff M, who's given it a 4 out of 5. Niall C, also given it a 4 out of 5. Susie, giving it a 4.5. Alex B says, wow, one of the nicest stouts I've ever had. Strong, but doesn't taste it. Very smooth and balanced. he's hit the nail on the head there with his description. Is it one of the best stouts I've ever had? No, because it's not a stout. But then again, what is and what isn't a stout? So, sounds like I was having a go then, but I was having a go at myself. Wasn't taken with this to begin with, but it grew on me, and the coffee started to taste nicer the more I drank it. Says Owen T. Luke K. Nice looking photo there in the garden. And now you can see just how slow my MacBook is. Who else have we got here? Oh, that's a nice photo. From Stuart B. And I've just closed the fucking window because I am an idiot. Do I really want to potentially... 10 Commandments of Judaism. There we go. It's always a bit risky when you're typing in a search bar and you're presenting your screen. But I've got nothing to hide. They've not arrested me yet anyway, so... Wow. So Math B gives it just shy of 4. Saying rich, smooth and fruity. Nice afternoon livener. Yeah, it certainly does. It's added a kick in my step. Guzzler, let's give it a 4 and a bit out of 5. Hugh T says coffee, easy drinking for 9.5. Definitely. The drinkability on this is ridiculous. Adam B, they've all got the Brew by Numbers branded glassware, haven't they? Adam B has given it a 4 out of 5. Michael Chico H. Breakfast of Champions with loads of emoticons, 4 out of 5. And he's got one of the... I don't know if I really like that shape of glass or I think it's a bit too wanky. I don't know. I'm undecided. Are there many more? We're not going to go through all of them. Gary S says it's a nightcap, 4 out of 5. Oh, here we go. Rob T. The standout of 3 varieties for me. The coffee was slightly bitter, in a good way, and very rich, and that really made a difference. Personal choice, but half a point ahead of the Samara. Yakankwa, still king though. Oh, seems like we're not covering the best on the live stream. Trev W says, check-in catch-up. Lovely coffee flavour and bellies it strength nicely. It certainly does. So I'm not going to go show anyone because it'll ask me to sign in and I can't be asked. So, back onto StreamYard. I'm still a little bit clumsy in getting this all transitioned and stuff, but hey ho, it is what it is. So, we'll move on to the Samava, which is from Costa Rica, if I remember correctly. Yeah. So let's just remind ourselves of the aroma. It's going to be, as I said, more musky, savoury. A little bit of a berry sweetness. It smells good though. Again, just smells completely different. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Anyway, let's give it a taste. Cheers, folks. Straight off the bat, nowhere near as flavoursome as that one. Body somehow seems a little bit softer and bolder though. It's like almost smooth flow territory. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. Not much going on in terms of flavours in this one. Although that being said, This actually just tastes more like you're having a cup of coffee without any sugar or milk. And I don't use sugar; I use sweetener in mine. I don't like using honey in tea and coffee, but I also don't like using sugar because, as you can see, I'm trying to cut down. But yeah, this is maybe a little bit softer, a little bit bolder in the mouthfeel. But flavour-wise, nowhere near as flavoursome. Even the malts aren't really like screaming out of the glass. Still got that muskiness to it that you got on the nose. It's not really any sort of like sweet, like distinct sweet or savoury characters coming through. I tell you what, the body feels completely different though. And just as easy drinking for its ABV. Nowhere near as complex. It's maybe a little bit more simple. It takes rounded to a new level. But it's still a nice little drop. So maybe a little bit more bitterness in this one. A little bit more of a slight like cacao coming through on the back end as well. Maybe the coffee's not as prevalent in this as opposed to the other can. But you still get a coffee flavour in there fundamentally, which is good. But yeah, it doesn't pack the flavour punch that the other one did. Interesting. So, we'll see. We'll get the actual characteristics of the coffee itself. Floral, jasmine, white sugar, lemon, green apple, plum jam, spice. I'm only getting a slight spiciness to it just because of red and I'm looking for it. But again, it's not me trying to pull out flavours. This is partly because I'm bored shitless on bank holiday with nothing better to do. But also, I love coffee, but I know nothing about it. So I want to try and build up, just like I have been with beer for the past 5 or 6 years. Build up sort of like a palate. So I'm looking for the floral and the jasmine, just not getting it. White sugar, there's really no sweetness. I'm not getting the acidity of lemon or green apple. I'm not getting that density of plum jam. Spice, it's just like maybe got a little bit of a tickling. Not spicy, but a spiced character. Let's see. Craig from Ken Beer Review says, cheers, mate. Just a quick hello. Out at the moment with Alice. Well, I hope the weather is much better for you than it is for us here in old sunny Skelmersdale. It's absolutely pissing down and it's quite windy, but I hope you're both having a wonderful day and thank you for stopping by. I said that very strangely because I was having a bit of an acid reflux attack there. Tell you what, this one's going down a lot quicker though because it's smoother. It's smoother. It's almost like it's got a different sort of. I don't know. The body, maybe the coffee's imparting a bit more of a bolder character. Craig H says, afternoon, Peter. Good afternoon, Craig. Thank you for stopping by. Welcome to a screen of text. Interesting. That's very interesting, that one. So, we'll see what the people of Untapped think. Got a 3.5, 4.1. Alex says, very sweet. I'm just not getting Alex. I'm sorry. I'm not getting that sweetness. Different strokes for different folks. Let's see. Stu B says all three of these are very good. Rick coffee and deep mouthfeel. Yum, Italy versus Holland. So you must do Sabutio-based check-ins, apparently. Each to their own. You've got to add your own distinct spin on beer reviewing, I suppose. Craig H says, are you Rob in disguise? I'm probably a little bit bigger, not in terms of viewership or subscriber base, and not even half as talented. But and this is a gimmick that I have stolen from Rob, so I can't deny that. Still very decent, but probably my least favourite of the three recent coffee porters. Nice Omnipio glass. Do you think he bought that Cloudwater box? Was it Cloudwater who did the Omnipio taste? No. Or was it Craft Beer Channel? I can't remember. There was a box. And you got Omnipio beers and you got a nice glass. Don't judge me. I'm just trying to find more with actual comments on them. Adam B says, on to the bonus beers. Not quite as good as previous porter. Nice glass though. I do like that glass. Good branding. Don't know what the fuck that's supposed to mean, TJ, but as you were, a Bohemian Rhapsody. That looks like an annoying place. No boring beer at Jars Bar. See what that is. I'm not just going to shit on people. Arch 6, 4 Market Yard, Deptford, London. No boring beer at Jars Bar. Islington Lager. Crunch. Well, got Brew by numbers there. Roadkill by Mad Squirrel. Not a bad selection, Anne. Considering London, prices aren't too bad. Do you know what? I was having this discussion. In fact, let's go back to... No, we want to go back to me, because I'm the star of the show. We're having a discussion in work. I love how we've just completely disregarded the coffee beers now. We'll get back to it. We were having a discussion in work about obviously bars and pubs reopening and some places having to raise the prices slightly. And someone was talking about they'd been to, I think it was London, or they had a relative who'd been out in London, and while they were drinking, they bought a bottle of Peroni in the fridge, a 30ml bottle, for £3, not £3, for, what was it? It's like £7. And they were like, oh, London's so expensive. It is. I mean, when I was visiting Harry last for the Marlborough Piss Up, on my way home, I made the mistake of buying a sandwich, coffee, and cigarettes at one of the tube stations. Well, it wasn't a tube station. It was where was that now? But I had to get there to get onto the tube. Made the mistake of buying a pack of cigarettes, was it a bottle of Coke? Yeah, it was a bottle of Coke and a sandwich. 30 fucking quid. So I know that London is expensive. The stereotype is true. But that's the great thing about craft beer that I've noticed. Prices don't really go astronomically insane. There's always that sort of base about what you'd pay if you go to a proper craft beer place. If you go to a bigger pub or a shop and they've got a craft range, they're going to bulk the price up, obviously. But I don't think for craft beer London is that much more expensive if you go to the proper places than it is in Manchester, Liverpool, Leeds, Birmingham, even Wigan. Some of the bars in Wigan. I don't think you're going to be paying that much more just because it's in London for craft beer compared to paying much more for mass-produced big conglomerate beers. Do you know what I mean? Like a bottle of Budweiser and stuff like that, or a bottle of Stella. These really, let's be honest, cheaply made lagers that are brewed outside of their country of origin on contract in big facilities. So there's always going to be a massive markup anyway on sort of like low quality beer. That being said, I am partial to having a few cans of Stella. I'm never gonna. I'll never sort of like. I drink what I want to drink. One of my big sort of go-tos, which is still quite expensive for no reason, is Red Stripe. It's like 4 cans for like £6. It's like, really? But I like it. I like Red Stripe. Shoot me. I like Carlsberg. Carlsberg's another go-to lager. But when it comes to like craft beers, I don't think you're really going to be spending that much more just because it's London when it comes to craft beer, if that makes sense. And I'm just going from my very limited experience because when I was out and about getting to Marlborough, stopped in a Brewdog pub, I was paying pretty much Brewdog prices, the same prices in a Brewdog bar that I pay in London compared to Manchester. Although it felt like that to me. It felt like I was paying the same amount for, because I think, what's that Brewdog pub, Brewdog bar that's close to a train station in London? It's not Shepherd's Bush. What's it called? I can't remember anything of that journey in terms of locations. But I think I paid the same for like a pint of Elvis juice. Was it Elvis juice? I can't remember. Oh, it's coming up to like, it was a seasonal period, Christmas Eve period, wasn't it? Or was it? No, it wasn't. It wasn't that late into the year or early into the year. Look at that. When did me and Dean go visit Harry in Marlborough? Time means nothing nowadays. But I bought a beer in Brewdog in London and paid the same price in London than I would have done in a Brewdog bar in Manchester or Liverpool or Leeds or wherever. That's what it felt like. You can tell me I'm wrong. It's fine. I'm not going to fight you over it. I'm not going to come to blows. But went to a pub the other day. Here we go. I went to a pub another day. £6.50 for Foster's and Carling. I don't drink that stuff, mad. Yeah, exactly. That's it. You're going to pay in London much more for that sort of drink. I mean, my local pub, the Hare and Hounds, obviously they've reopened, and yeah, the prices have gone up a little bit. But I got a pint of Star of Pramen, which I was very shocked to see Star of Pramen on keg in Sken. I got a pint of that and a pint of Coors Light, and yeah, it cost me £9. But I know that's not the price they usually charge, but they're only having to do that so like recuperate for lost profits. Don't say lost profits. Don't need to talk about that monstrosity of a man. How irrelevant is the singer of Lost Profits now? Imagine being in a band and finding out that your lead singer was like a proper nonce. What a weird thing. So yeah, I think I paid like about £9 for 2 pints at a local pub, which I totally get it. I get it because the pubs have been absolutely betrayed over this past year or so. there's been no sort of initiatives set up. When they've done stuff that's been sensible, it's been shut down, even though there's really no information to show that the hospitality business has ever contributed to the whole C word situation. They're just like they've been handed a stick and have been beaten with it. That's what it feels like. So yeah, I can totally get that they're going to charge a little bit more. But yeah, it's like London prices seem to be more in effect for that sort of thing as opposed to craft. And then you get people who go, oh, well, this is the most expensive pint in the UK. You don't buy it in a pint though, do you? You don't tend to rarely buy a triple IPA in a pint because you know it's going to cost more than a session IPA, an IPA, or a pale, or even a double IPA. So I hate this whole mentality of like it's too expensive. Craft beer is only as expensive as you allow it to be. But yeah, I don't know why that got a bit ranty then, but you can hold against them, they'll always shift the crap macro lagers for whatever price. Exactly. I mean, that whole thing with Siren and Heineken, I don't know the full story of it, so I can't really comment on it. But yeah, I do see how problematic big beer is. Because you'll see plenty of once thriving pubs and bars and tap rooms suffering because of that, because of licenses that were in place and demands from the licensee and the owners and that sort of stuff. Again, I don't fully understand the intricate details, but I can see what's going on. But yeah, it's like, but you can't really hold it against like a pub in most circumstances for charging a little bit more than you usually would. I mean, thankfully, these past few weekends, it seems to have been absolutely booming at my local pub. Went there the other weekend. No, it was last weekend. We sat in the beer garden. It was a little bit chilly. But you know what? I paid a little bit extra than what I would have usually paid before the whole pandemic. But I'm not going to hold it against them that I'm paying maybe a quid or two more. Because I could always just have a couple there and go straight back home, which is what we did. We came back to ours, sat in the outdoor bar, and just finished off drinking there. But yeah, what did I have? I had a Star Ramen, which was tasting dead nice. Coors Light, slowly getting back into Coors Light. It's reminding me of my Wetherspoon era. And then 2 pints of Guinness, which I really struggled to drink because they were dead heavy. Let's see. £6 for a third of Impy Stout is worth for the Untapped check-in. And yeah, that's the thing. We know the cost of beer. So we don't have to pay it. We could drink something else. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, it is good for the Untapped. But yeah, I totally see where you're coming from. It's like, I know that I'm going to pay a little bit more for this sort of beer. I'm prepared for that. I know it. But when I'm paying the same price for that beer, or the same price that I would for that beer for like a shitty macro lager, which I've got nothing against shitty macro lagers. That's what I predominantly drink when I go to the pubs. A lager's a lager for me. Do you know what I mean? Like a pint of Carlsberg, to me, is a really satisfying prospect. A pint of Heineken, which I mean, the local pub sometimes has Warsteiner on tap, which, come on, it's Warsteiner on tap. I mean, is it the best German lager you can get? No. But the fact that they've got Warsteiner on tap, sign me up. Birra Moretti on tap is a good pint. It sounds like I'm having a go at someone. I'm not. I'm really not. But yeah, I've heard of an Impy Stout and pay £6. I am fully prepared, if I really want to pay £6 for an Impy Stout. But when I'm paying £6 for like sometimes not even a pint of a macro lager, then it's like, I think we're going to go somewhere else. But yeah, I can't remember where we were up to on this this beer stream. But nobody seems to really talk about that sort of stuff, though. People just whinge about how expensive craft beer is. You should know how expensive it is. But anyway, these porters are hitting me now. And I can't even remember what triggered that sort of kind of rant. Oh yeah, we were looking at the no boring beer at Jar's Bar. I mean, change your name, but yeah, doesn't sound too bad to me. Mind you, that's just going off cans. Have they got anything on tap? Oh, here we go. I mean, look at that. Oh, a litre growler for £8. That's not too bad. A litre growler, a triple IPA, £10. I probably wouldn't go straight for it, but I could totally justify paying £10 for a growler of a 9.5% ABV triple IPA. I mean, when I was in Manchester once, and went to Cloudwater when they were still in the Arch. And what did I get? I got myself one of their like the American style growler bottles that they have, which is now just been reduced to being an ornament in the outdoor bar. I got that with filled with the Hellas Lager, a T-shirt, and I think I only paid like £30. I was like, quid's in. Don't know why I'm telling you that story because it bears no sort of importance. Studio Lager from Signature Brew on deck. I mean, a pint of pale, £6. I mean, all right, yeah, some of this stuff you are probably going to pay like £1 or £2 more, but it's all relative, really. But that being said, if I could get a pint of export India Porter, I'm not even showing you this on the stream. That's how much of a fucking idiot I have become. But yeah, export India Porter. A pint of it for £6. I don't mind paying that. How much would that be in Manchester? Probably about like £5, £4.50. I don't know. But yeah, to have that fresh, 6.5%, an absolutely beautiful Indian Porter for £6. You can't really complain at that, really, can you? Here we go. Let's go back to the growler. Brew by numbers, keeping it on brand. Triple IPA, Mosaic, Chinook, Simcoe. 9.5%, 1 litre growler, £10. Now, it's going to be a growler. You take it home. That 1 litre of a triple IPA would probably have been 2 440ml cans of like an IPA. We're going off stereotypes when drinking sort of place. London as well. That's not bad at all. And the fact that there are places where you get for £7 a 330ml bottle of Peroni. I don't know what point I'm trying to make, but I'm just saying, it seems that you're only going to get your fucking arse smacked if you go for the macro stuff in trendy bars in London. Whereas if you stick to craft, you're probably going to pay a little bit more. I've not really thought about that. I've not really thought about that at all. Let's see. Craig H says, let's put the comments on. You could equate macros with craft stuff. It's just stupid how you can make markup macro and people still buy it. Exactly. But yeah, you'll see like stories in the paper of the most expensive pint in London. It's like, again, you're not going to really buy a pint of that, are you? But yeah. So, sort of it sort of just like devolved into a little bit of a rant then. But back to the beers. I think out of the two, and I feel like a dick because I've not actually done the third one, and part of me is thinking that I should crack open the third one just so I can see, especially if that's being considered the best of the three. But I'm going to be pissed before tea time. But mind you, if it was nice weather, there would have been a chance I might have gone to the pub today. But do I crack open a third one? I think I might, you know. And I might see if anyone on the Messenger group wants to join. Just bear with me 1 second. I'm going to get another can. And I'm going to throw the link out there as well. Probably going to end up drinking for the rest of the day now. Give me a second. So I'm back because I'm easily led. But and I've given the link to a few people, so there may be someone joining, there may be not. But I think there were talks of a live stream a little bit later on, so we've got you covered in the beer drinking community. And that means I might pop over to Bargain Booze and get myself a 6-pack of, or is it 4-pack of pint cans of Red Stripe. I think I'm going to be on it today. I think you've just witnessed someone just decide to get a little bit pissed. But hey ho, it is a beer review channel after all. So I've got the third can out of the trio. And this is the Musasa Dukunda Kawa. And while I was away, I got the links up on the screen. So let's have a look and get that up. Here we go. So this is the profile for the coffee itself. And before I go into that, Craig says go on, and it's bank holiday. And £6 for a pint of Estrella in my new work, says Brian. You don't have to say where you work, but location-wise, whereabouts are you? Because there is a pub not too far. So, again, I don't know if this is the specific sort of blend they've used for the beer itself. But hopefully it gives you sort of an idea of what to get. And I'm not going to read all of that, obviously. So the quick look guide says lime, white sugar, lime zest, and white tea. Interesting. And once again, drop just before your second crack. If there's a life lesson there, then I don't think there's ever been a stronger life lesson, is what I should have said. So let's read the description. So this porter uses Musasa Dukunda Kawa, a washed coffee from Rwanda, in the process. This special roast carries a distinctly creamy and fresh citrus flavour on top of a rich, dark malt base. So we're looking for creamy, zesty lime zest, and then a little sweetness of white sugar. So we shall see. There we go. So, using my North glass for this one. And again, love the colour scheme on that one. So let's see what we get. This bank holiday afternoon's perked up a little bit, to be honest. So, in Edinburgh, in Leith, not city centre. Okay. So would you say, see, I don't know, obviously, the sort of pricing differences with places like Scotland. The one thing I would say, and this equates to my experience that I had in Dublin, which again, obviously, there's no sort of locality, obviously. But I found when I went to a city like Dublin, you could go to like the local haunts and the sort of like smaller pubs and bars and still pay sensible prices. But when you get to the more touristy side of things, then of course that's where the prices go up, sort of like Temple Bar. So I'm not too sure if Leith or Edinburgh has that sort of same sort of feel. But yeah, that does seem like an expensive pint now. But then again, I can't actually remember how much. Because they had like a, I can't remember what brew it was, but they had a really nice creamy porter, and I can never remember. Oh no, what was it? Was it a porter or a bitter? Like Edinburgh Castle, the beer's called, I think. God, that was a long time ago. That was dead nice, and then the rest of the night I was just drinking Australia. I think Australia is a decent lager, to be honest. But yeah, would you say where that place, would you say it's sort of like in a touristy upmarket area, or is that just sort of the prices you would expect for that sort of stuff anyway? It's interesting. I'm fascinated by this sort of stuff. But again, I don't know. Again, I'm only going off what I've experienced going to different parts of England when it's focusing on like craft beers. That the price differences aren't too varied. But I'm not sure what it's like in Scotland because I've never been to Scotland. And I really need to rectify that. There are some places. I mean, we're going to be going to Scotland next year because my stepdad passed recently, and we're going to be scattering his ashes in Rothsay, I believe. So I'm very much looking forward to that. I'm not sure what other places we'll be able to visit while we're there, but I definitely need to go to places like Edinburgh, Glasgow. But then I want to go to like sort of the more picturesque rural places. But I don't want to be one of those people who sort of intrudes on that sort of stuff, if that makes sense. Yeah, there are much better priced locals in the area. Just a bit of a wanky place that I primarily use as a. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, you'll get some places locally that are like hotels and they can be used as venues, and then you'll see a bit of a price hike. There's a place called Holland Hall, which is where our work usually has their sort of like Christmas parties. Is it called Holland Hall? I can't remember. Adam will probably know that place. I'm sure it's the best local. And then we've got Dean from Dean's Beer Reviews who says, "Fill your boots, chap." Oh, I certainly will. I'm having a good time. These are some good beers. So, Dean, I would highly recommend checking out some of the coffee porters from Brew by Numbers. So, we shall see what the third and final one will give us. So, on the nose. Oh, aren't you wonderful? I'm definitely getting hints of lime coming through. It does have a citrusy edge to it. Not like a domineering sort of citrusy aroma, but it's definitely there. It's got a slightly sweet, almost brown sugar character coming through. But yeah, it's got that sort of like dusting of like lime zest. Or that's the sort of image that I'm getting. A little bit savoury as well. Again, the beautiful porter itself is shining through also. Off to a good start. Let's see what we get on the taste. Cheers, guys. Nearly knocked my whole beer over then. Cheers. Wow. They're not joking around with that citrusy edge. Ooh. Oh, that's lovely. A little bit of acidity there. There's a little bit of sharpness, but it in no way impacts the beer in a negative way. Beautiful roasty character. There's a little slight subtle spiciness to it. It's probably got the lightest body of the three, I would say. But again, there's this sort of like velvety oiliness coating your palate. And then there is a subtle bitterness on the back end. but I wouldn't say it's a bitter coffee flavour. But yeah, that lime is definitely evident. And it works beautifully within the confines of the style. It's not as strong in flavour as the Deutsche Cat. It may be a little bit more rounded. It's got a bit more of like a mature flavour to it. Whereas that is maybe a little bit, maybe you could say it's a bit more left field from what you expect from a coffee porter, just because there's maybe some more distinct, unique flavours in the Deutsche Cat. But this, all in all, the Musasa du Kawa, it's just real decadence to it. Yeah, even like that aftertaste has sort of like a lime character. Yeah, you get a little bit more like vibrancy and sweetness from a lemon, whereas like that lime is just, I don't know what the word is, but oh yeah, that's definitely the best of the bunch. I mean, they're all three of them worth a try. Highly recommended. I mean, let's go back to Brew by Numbers. I accidentally closed the tab, and they're still on the web shop as of right now. I think there's a decent looking selection of beers to fill a case. I mean, £4.50, £4.50, £4.50. You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with that. 9.5% coffee porter. Definitely worth trying as a series. On individual levels, I'd say this is the best one. Then Deutsche Cat. And then my least favourite, but it's not a bad beer. It's just it doesn't really have any sort of flavour compared to those two. I don't know where people are getting the sweetness from it. Maybe it could be the can that I've got. I don't know. That's always something that you can put into consideration. But yeah, all three of them definitely worth the £4.50. Not sure what like web shops are charging for them and that sort of thing. But by the way, that's a really nice gozer. What? From 40 quid? In a 6-pack? Oh, by the way, that's the most dangerous thing about buying beer. Shop pay. You don't have to, once you've purchased something with shop pay, you never have to type your card details in and you can just make orders. And it's very, very dangerous. Did Adam buy a 6-pack of that? Because he gave me 2. I think he was sharing some with his. I'm sure he's got another mate in Scan. Having more than one friend in Scan is never a good prospect. But yeah, I think there's a good selection. It's limited, don't get me wrong, but I think it's still a decent selection, especially if you throw yourself in a glass and a sweatshirt, which I might do on next payday. But yeah, for the price, £4.50 for a 9.5% coffee porter. They're all worth your time, I would say. So we'll just read the comments. Brian says he wishes he could get absolutely smashed today. It's been far too long. Yeah, I'm a bit ashamed because it's been a bit of a quiet weekend for me, to be honest. Hi there, you little sexy kitten. Well, hi there, Daddy. Hope you're doing okay. And Paul's got a very nice ghost brewing for me right now. Natural salt flavours. Love it. Dean says, I've had a few 1009 and 106. Oh, yeah, because they sort of divided up, don't they? Yeah, that series. Probably, I would go out on a limb and say these are some of the best utilizations of coffee in beer that I've had from a British brewery. I mean, I'm a sucker for anything that's got coffee in it anyway, whether it be a porter, stout, lager, IPA. Overtone did a really good coffee porter. In fact, let's have a quick look. I don't think we need the has-been. Let's have a look to see what Overtone have got on at the moment. And if you see anything in my search history, disregard, because it wasn't me. It's a risky game. It's a risky game typing in. Oh my god, overtone.com. Overtone Brewing, here we go. Let's see what they're on. I'm not a fan of this on the sides. What have we got here? Ouija, Long Flight, Matika, Pale Simcoe, Volvic Secrets, Explosions in the Cry. Don't know what that means. Hey, less than 30 quid for a hoodie. That's not too bad, is it? Oh, and you've got Upfront Brewing Company. Dusty Miller Stout. I do like their t-shirts as well. Can you search? Anyway, so let's see what the mass public think of Sasa Dukunda Cup. Let's see. I just bought 10 beers for $100. That's on you. At least they're all 10 plus ABV. Well, fair dues. And then we've got Cam joining the stream.
Hello.
Hello, Jake.
Hello.
How are you?
I saw your link, and I just finished it. I went live for about 8 minutes, and then saw you were still on, and I saw your link, so I thought, hello, I'll pop on and talk to Peter on a bank holiday Monday.
Yeah, this was supposed to be a somewhat quick look at 2 porters, but then ended up being a bit of a longer stream anyway, and then I thought, you know what, I'll just get the third out of the series.
Yeah. If you got 3, you might as well do them all.
Exactly. It felt really stupid. Going towards the end of finishing the second one, thinking, well, you've got 3 of them in a series. Just get the third one.
Yeah, just trying to be quite moderate, and it's like, no, we'll definitely do the third one.
Yeah, we'll definitely. I think it was a given, to be honest. But how are you, Jake?
I'm all good. I'm just finishing Burnt Mill's Tree of Life Triple IPA.
Oh, how is that?
It's really good. I mean, it's crazily drinkable for a 10% triple IPA. It's pretty dangerous, really, but yeah, really sort of gloopy lusciousness without any crazy lactose or any adjuncts or anything like that.
Yeah. Still got that Cloudwater Quipper in the fridge.
Quipper.
Yeah.
That's right. Rob's not here. You can say that.
We can use all the abbreviations we want.
Well, they've called this one a New England triple IPA. So what's that? A Netipper.
Or a deeper, depending on
yeah.
trade what you are aligned to, I suppose. Yeah, I don't know. I've heard that this year is the year of triple IPAs. Not bought that many of them.
They're everywhere, though, aren't they? triple IPAs are everywhere.
They are everywhere, but I've like said, I'll make a point to buy triple IPAs a little bit more regularly. But for some reason, I just haven't.
Yeah. So same because I'm not always not a huge proponent of them, but it's hard to avoid them sometimes.
Definitely. But that does sound good though. Sounds very good, Jake.
How were your coffee beers? I was really interested in getting those, so I have to go back and watch the full thing.
They are very much worth it. I think there's obviously a distinct favourite out of the three. Well, I say that. There's only one that I would say is sort of like a little bit bland.
Mm-hmm.
But I think for £4.50 each, if you're buying directly from the web shop, 9.5% Imperial Porter,
Mm-hmm.
they're pretty worth the money. But in fact, let me get myself back. No, don't.
I'm way too close to the camera.
This is terrible. I did not account for, and I'm going in full screen on my laptop, which I don't need, which will destroy things.
I never realized how much my fucking eyes move. I'm like a crackhead. Until I got really close to the camera, it's like twitching like crazy.
You'll have to go with me with the just the anonymous black box in the top right corner.
Were you doing some secondary cam craziness?
I was using it because I'm on my phone here, and then I use my laptop so I can share the screen. And I don't know how I could do it without having Cam 2 on the screen.
That's some professional shit.
Yeah, so I think it's better that I show you the beers as opposed to just show you one untapped screen. So I think my favourite out of the three is that one, the green and yellow, which is the Musasa Dukunda Kawa out of, where's this coffee from? Because I like the fact that they use coffee from different regions. Rwanda.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. It's got quite a distinct sort of lime character.
Oh, really? Bit of a citrus green bean kick.
Yeah, but not too pronounced. You can definitely detect it.
Yeah.
And then the second best for me was the sort of Doisicat out of Costa Rica, or is this Thailand? I can't remember where. Yeah, Thailand. Which again, it's got a pronounced fruitiness, very raisiny. Those sorts of dehydrated fruits, berries, raisins, that sort of stuff. And again, really distinct. That I've never tasted in a coffee porter. And although this is my least favourite, I wouldn't say it's bad, but that just tastes more like a sort of generic coffee porter, like a subtle coffee undertone.
Yeah.
But that being said, this one has, even though I'd imagine it's the same base recipe aside from the coffee additions, this seems to have a bit of like a creamier, bolder mouthfeel.
Oh, strange.
So it's really intriguing how different each one is, and not just like, oh, this is slightly more than this, or this one has slightly less of this characteristic. There's really three distinct differences you get from can to can, which
that's cool because
before.
Yeah, I always think like coffee is like, I'm quite like a newbie when it comes to coffee, but I do love coffee, and the flavors within coffee itself is just so varied when you have different roasts and different regions, how they've been like handled. It's just crazy, really. So it's no wonder that they're tasting different if they've used three very distinct coffees.
Yeah, and I think this would be a really good if you're trying to get into coffee, which is it's what I'm trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
Just trying to find sort of like distinct differences between one variety of coffee compared to another variety of coffee. So going into this sort of like read upon the coffees themselves is actually quite beneficial.
Yeah.
Because usually you review a beer, you kind of go in blind, so you can see what you can pick out. And if you want to look into the beer, you can see, I got this, and this is what the beer's offering. But I don't know, it's just there's something really interesting about reading what to expect and then seeing if you pick up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, seeing if it's just a load of marketing nonsense that they put on the back, or if they're actually like they've tasted it before and been like, oh, write that down. Which is, I think that's Brewdog's way of doing it. It's just for a dartboard. They've just got a dartboard that has all the different flavor profiles, and whatever one it hits, they just put that on the back of the can.
Just like a keyword dartboard.
Yeah.
So how do we describe this beer?
Yeah. Well, we created that friends, what do they call it, Brewdog and Friends box midweek, and they put like the color of the beer, like a little strip of the color of the beer, and it was just so wildly not that color. that was just like, where did they, like, one of it was like it was extra pale, and the strip was like almost brown. It's like that you've called it an extra pale beer, and you put like a brown strip on it. Yeah. I didn't understand the point of that, but
no, I was not a fan of that box.
No, it was incredibly underwhelming, even more so than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I mean that Modern Times hoppy lager was just such a non-entity.
Yeah, but that was actually, funny enough, that was actually my favourite of the thing but I think it was because it was the most different. It wasn't necessarily like better, but it was the most different for me. I thought that
a little bit unique.
Yeah, the Cloudwater and the Brewdog Pale, Planet Pale, they were pretty interchangeable for me.
Oh yeah,
they were pretty, like, one was hazier. The Cloudwater one was hazier, and that was about it. They were both sort of like,
it tastes very similar.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I mean, I don't know what's going on with Elvis Juice, but but it wasn't great.
No, that was pretty grim.
Yeah,
pretty grim can.
Well, I have got the next box coming, but I didn't pay the full whack. It's used a different email address.
Yeah, I think I forgot to change. I got the email from Brewdog. Yes, typical. Although I did actually personally keep that last beer 50 spot, which is the beer 60 one. It was good. I can't remember what the next one is, but I do need to cancel that. But I got a notification of my continual sort of subscription, and on the email, it's the same box.
Oh, is it?
The Cloudwater.
Oh shit!
I don't.
They're not going to do a beer 52 where if you join at a certain time in the month, you get the last month's box. If I get that box again, I'm not going to be happy.
It was just very boring. And I had the Session IPA Cloudwater that you get in Tesco's. Doesn't taste like Cloudwater at all. It just tastes like a Brewdog beer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've seen a lot of that. I haven't tried any of them yet. Hello, Harry, by the way.
Hello.
Yeah, I haven't tried any of the Tesco stuff yet. I picked up that Brewdog McKellar one from Sainsbury's yesterday because I never go to Sainsbury's, but we had to get like lunch on the fly, and there was a Sainsbury's there, so I was like, I've got to go to the beer aisle as well.
Yeah.
Naturally.
And hello, Paul.
Hey.
Oh, it was very quiet.
He did say it might not work.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Moving cam too.
I've just cracked open one of. I'm not too bad. I've just cracked open a track ale. I've been eternally bored all day. Rather be at work, but also rather wouldn't be. I'll be busy at work, but I'd rather have a day off. But yeah, so I just kind of felt like having a bit of a session today, and I've got one lined up.
Nice.
Whatever. But yeah, nice session out. Pause. Don't mind me, just carry on.
Just listening. Like a voyeur.
Yeah. It's just nice though. It does have that kind of. Always find that Rowaka has like Rowaka the Geordie hop. So, put it up to number 9, Rowaka. You get it on the volley. I can't do Geordie at all. Send it down to Rowaka down the wing. But yeah, no, I always find it has like a funny sort of taste about it. A funny like I just had the Modern Times Brewdog one. I got halfway through the can. I was like, no, not that IPL thing. Wasn't I had it a couple of weeks back and wasn't so much of a fan of it this time. But yeah, it always just seems like a little bit earthy. Just Rowaka.
Rowaka.
But yeah, it's nice though.
You know the song by Disturbed, "Get Down with the Sickness."
Yeah.
You know when at the start when he says, "Wah, ah, ah, ah," you just do that with Rowaka. just redo the whole song with different hops. Get down with the Simcoe.
Get down with the Citra.
That's what it's got both. Rowaka and Citra. Yeah, I did a little order last week. I did another duration order. Because I'm just loving their shit at the moment. It's good. Nice, varied range of beers. A lot of West Coast and kind of like sessionable beers, but that's nice. And then also done like I think I did a bottles and books order of like some juicy bangers and juicy bangers, like, well, yeah, so juicy bangers, so fucking triple IPAs, double IPAs, and that lot.
Yeah.
I just kind of wanted, I needed that kind of balance. And then also, I feel like I need a couple of impy stouts, but we'll see how the month goes, because, yeah, I'm busy boy. So, probably won't get the chance to drink them. So, today is the only day I get a chance to drink sessionable imperial stouts.
Done then.
Yeah. It's going to be nice. Let's get absolutely twatted.
Yeah, I actually drinking to the book. So bored this afternoon.
Yeah.
And I just saw the 3 cans just lined up in my cupboard. I was like, let's review 2 of them.
And then drink the third.
Yes.
Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, they are 9.5 or whatever they are.
Yeah, I've got a cuvee of all 3 now.
Oh, yes.
So we shall see what we get with this.
Does he get
boozy as fuck? For some reason. It's very smooth.
What I'm more interested in, what type of Peter do we get at the end of it? Do we get like a Peter in his dungarees, completely shirtless, and that's all I want, Peter?
That may well happen. We'll have to do a restock of cheap lager at some point now. Because I'm running very low of sensible ABV drinking material. Even though I did make that, I made the track order on Thursday afternoon with the hope that I'd have it on Saturday. And so basically my bank holiday drinking has been ruined because I didn't get the track order on Wednesday. So it's like, so now I've got a mini egg and I've got loads of cans of Sonoma. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to drink these tons.
I find a mini keg can get done in 3 days, really. Especially Sonoma.
Yeah, what was that? Like 8 pints.
Yeah.
So
eight and 3/4 pints.
Yeah, if you get it all, if there is any wastage.
Which there always is.
Yeah. There's piss everywhere. Yeah. I'm in the same situation as you, Harry. I need to do like an order of like big stouts because all I have is just lager and session beer.
Yeah,
that's all I have in at the moment. So I need to get some bigger stuff. Saying that I am drinking a triple IPA, but
Ah, good point.
Yeah.
But it's funny, like 2 months or maybe a month ago, all you could get was just big imperial stouts, 9%, 10%, crazy beers all the time, imperial stouts
Yeah.
and double IPAs and triple IPAs. And then at that time, I was like, all I want is session beers because I'm so tired of all that stuff. And there wasn't, I felt like I needed a bit of a palate reset with some nice, clean, non-pastry stout kind of stouts.
Mhm.
And then now that's all I want. I just want them because I've had my solid kind of like, I suppose, 2 months of sessionable, easy drinking beers. But also there's an upside to that is that I wake up the next morning and don't have a fucking belting hangover.
Yeah.
Like would normally happen if I had like even just one imperial stout nowadays.
Yeah.
On an evening, but yeah.
Yeah, that is the trouble. Because even when like everything's over sort of 6.5, when you start drinking at like, and that's how it was for like quite a while.
Yeah.
So it's good to intersperse those lower ABV beers,
Yeah.
definitely, because you can get and for, like I think I can't remember, maybe it was Craig's stream on Friday. I'm always like I've always been the sort of person where I can drink and drink and drink, and I'm like, oh, it's not affecting me, wee, and then it's like, there we go,
Just
have it all at
hit
once,
that
yeah.
limit.
Yeah, it's like get drunk immediately.
You're now here.
Yeah, so that's why like yeah, I always forget. It's like, oh no, I'm doing fine. It's like, oh shit, no, I'm not. So that's what session beers are always.
It's when you're fucking climbing the stairs on all fours.
Yeah, it's like those 4 BrewDog beers. I did them in a night and was fine, absolutely fine the next day. Whereas if you did 4 bigger beers, you'd still have you'd still feel it. You might not be like absolutely the worst hangover you ever had, but you'd still feel it.
Yeah.
But still, they're so tasty though. Those big ABV beers are
so
too tasty.
Yummy.
So damn delicious.
Yeah, like I think it was it Tuesday night or something like that, and I did like 4 beers or so, or 3 beers, and then Ant said, "Oh, I don't consider you to be a true Russian unless you have a shot of vodka." I was like, "Okay, cool, I have a shot of vodka then," and then I did it, and then it was that made me feel. I just felt it in my head. I just didn't feel groggy or shit. I just felt it. Like if I thought about it, I had a bit of a headache. I'm like, well, that was that then. It's all Ant's fault. So yeah, don't have vodka on a school night.
No,
not a good idea.
Have a bottle at the weekend instead.
Yeah,
on one night
with a nice mixer.
With a nice mixer.
Some just fell over in your garden, Harry. I just saw over your shoulder.
Oh fuck! It's a fucking fence. Well, I'm going to leave it falling over there.
Yeah, it's probably better than trying to pick it up.
The fence has just fallen over.
Yes.
I just saw someone just go.
Yeah, it's very windy.
Yeah, it's ridiculously windy here. I just had to check all my like rice plants and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going like across the country like that way.
Yeah.
Like like downwards. Sorry. Yeah, and I think it's hit the
shit. That means I'm locked in from the back. That's happened before, quite a few times before, and I thought I had it fixed, but I know I've got to screw it to that fence, the other fence now. So, oh well.
It is what.
I'll just leave it there until it stopped being windy as fuck, and then I'll just push it back up because it weighs a fucking ton. It's basically weighted at the bottom, but not enough. So yeah. Oh well, let's just drink through this storm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Hunker down.
Let's hunker down, batten down the hatches, and get these down our hatches. Come on, boys.
Cheers.
Right.
Cheers, lads.
Cheers. I've just finished my triple IPA. Right, I did.
Next one.
Yep. Not for me. I've got duties to attend to, so I'm gonna have to fuck off. But if another one's going on later this evening, I'll be up for it.
Cool.
But if not, I'll speak to you later.
Cool. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Mwah.
Bye. Yeah. Well, jacket has come off, so we are
It has.
that one step closer to shirtless Peter in dungarees. which,
May happen.
to be honest,
It may happen.
is the only way I image you to be in dungarees.
Do you know what? That's the one thing that most people have said. Took the step into the dungaree lifestyle. It's like, I can't wait for you to wear those without a t-shirt. Okay,
just take it off from me.
it will happen.
Just
Don't worry about
unclip.
that.
Just unclip it slowly, and
Yeah, just like
this is the striptease I wanted.
exactly. It's what everyone wants.
Moving on.
Exactly. And nice segue into Steve's comment, which is, what's all this stuff about Heineken?
Did you read that article that Siren put up?
I read a little bit of it, but I didn't read the whole of it. But I think I've got the main gist of what that article was about. It's about like the whole licensing sort of side of things, where they have to have Heineken-owned products in that bar.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just going to try and find the article again. Oh, it's on bloody Twitter. I don't have Twitter. Oh, yeah. So it says, so we've had a bit of fun today, but unfortunately there are some serious stories unfolding here of increasing threats to the independent businesses in our industry. Our customers, friends, and business partners have had an incredibly hard time over the past 14 months, as we all know. Siren has done and will continue to do as much as we can to support the people who have been the major backbone of our little business for 8 years now. So we want to bring to your attention activities of not only Lion but Heineken, the owners of brands we all know like Beavertown, Lagunitas Spear, and Brixton Brewery. It doesn't really say who Lion owns, but obviously we know Full Pure and Magic Rock and a few others, Little Creatures, I think it is. Heineken, having purchased the lease from a company that were the landlords of a craft beer co, which is a big kind of chain around London. I think they might have one or two in Brighton as well, or somewhere like that. I could be mixed up. Is offering them zero support on rent due to their free of tie status. This is a stark contrast to the more reasonable approach taken with their tenanted sites. They're definitely not talented. Effectively, this now forces the Craft Beer Co. site to close unless they pay all outstanding rent immediately or predominantly stock Heineken-owned beers going forward, despite years of benefit to Heineken from the relationship. This is clearly a cynical attempt by a big brewer to use the pandemic and their size to cut choice for the consumer and pursue their own agenda. It's pretty ugly. We have witnessed weight and resources being thrown around to oust independence before, but this is a low point. What can you do about it? You can contact Heineken and let them know what you think. You could also support the Craft Beer Co. through its open venues. You could also vote with your feet and choose to drink independently brewed pints over brands controlled by juggernauts, brewing juggernauts. As hospitality and pubs start to open, our collective focus is on delivering fantastic service and products to you. It's going to be tough enough without these kind of distractions, but all independent businesses are also in a fight for choice, so we'd appreciate your support. End of thread. Thanks all. Have a great bank holiday weekend, of course, and enjoy your well-deserved pints. Cheers. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I think that was a very sensible approach compared to some companies.
Yes. I wonder which ones.
Same situation.
It is. and it's interesting to see. It's a focus on one site, and there's a lot of breweries who haven't. Well, there was another pub who's had a bit of a shitter, but it wasn't due to a big brewery. I think it seems to be when it's big brewery versus small brewery, they always shout about it. But when it's big company versus big brewery versus small brewery, or big company versus like independent pub, no one really shouts about it in the brewing scene. They're always just like focused on, you know, oh, it's a rival brewer, they're cunts, rather than it's no Tony Blair's fucking armored warfare, whatever the fuck it is, I don't know. So there's an idea, but it's just like it's just like some other random like a landlord or something, and they don't get angry about that. But when it's like a brewery, it's fucking business, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's not nice, but it is what it is.
Because it's all down to profit, and people need to accept that it doesn't matter how big or small, but profits matter more than ideological ideas. It's like it's all well and good that people want to stay small, they want to stay independent, they want to stay this, they want to stay that, but there comes a point where this isn't financially viable anymore. So we need to have some form of opportunity.
Yeah. It's there's morals, and what people do goes on everywhere. Well, especially in brewing and beer. I think morals versus what people do. Cloudwater is a fine example. But then I say in myself, morals and what I do. I fucking brew beer and moan about people selling beer for £50 a nine, and then I go and drink in fucking Wetherspoons. I am part of the problem. I think everyone is part of the problem constantly.
Yeah, definitely. Not to be back to the specific Wetherspoons argument. You can boycott all you want, but not everyone has that opportunity to boycott someone like Wetherspoons.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do on like a night out with like family friends or people you've not seen for ages, and they go to it? They suggest, "Oh, let's go to the Spoons." No, I can't.
Oh, fuck off.
It's just not viable.
Yeah. It's it's a place that caters for all.
Exactly.
And I read something in a camera thing, and I thought I was typing something as a response, and I thought, actually, no, you're a dickhead. About myself, and this guy was basically saying about the camera vouchers that they have. For the and there was someone just doing a post like cutting up the vouchers and saying like, I'm not, this is not supporting real craft, and to an extent I kind of agree with that guy. It's not supporting craft beer by your 50p vouchers and stuff, but at the same time it gets through a barrel. It gets a barrel sold more quickly, and you are ultimately helping a brewery sell a product, but that brewery is obviously selling that product at the fucking dirty dustbin price. But like then there was this other guy said, I wouldn't do this personally. I like to use the vouchers as they enable me to get an affordable cheap pint. Now I don't believe that someone who is living on the fucking breadline or close to it is getting a camera subscription just to get cheaper beer, but I think there is an element of it, and it's kind of like it makes it a little bit more accessible, having cheaper pints.
Yeah, definitely.
Albeit in the worst fucking place in the world, which is Wetherspoons, which I love. But yeah, that's my piece of the day.
No, that's a very valid viewpoint you have there. And Steve says, I won't go to Wetherspoons anymore, but I've moved. I'll be getting more craft beers and brewing can't bloody wait. Sounds good. Yeah.
When?
Wetherspoons, it won't be my first choice. But if I have to inevitably go to Wetherspoons, I'll have to inevitably go to Wetherspoons. It's just one of those things.
And you do know, when I come to Liverpool, we will step inside of a Wetherspoons, buy a glass of water, we'll get one for free, and then just walk out.
Yeah,
just to say that I've been in a Wetherspoons. Yeah. Steve said about the furlough stuff. Everyone fucking did that. Every single. I can. Where do you think? Well, I say M&B were quite good, but where do you think all kind of bar staff went whilst they were on furlough? They weren't getting fucking furlough pay. A lot of them were just told to fuck off.
Yeah.
And also in the end, Wetherspoons didn't actually kind of do that completely across the board. They kept a lot of their management and core staff, but then it was like more so the temporary or the low end, like kitchen porters and stuff like that. That's the only ones that kind of went in the end. So it wasn't quite as across the board as what people think. But yeah. Anyway, this is a fine ale. I'm going to get it down there and move on to a step up of an ale.
And what step up ale would that be, Harry?
I'm not sure yet. I've been playing Battlefield today, and
all right.
I don't know what to get. I was just saying, I've been playing some Battlefield earlier on today, and I got so angry with my controller because so many buttons don't work in it. I decided to buy a new controller. £70 for a new fucking Xbox controller.
And it's not even preparation.
And it's not even beer.
No. Well, Harry, I'm going to have to cut this stream short because our new gazebo is blowing everywhere. I'm going to have to assist in collecting.
It is just like this here, my fence.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we've both had a wind-related tragedy. So I'm sure there's going to be a stream later on today.
Yeah.
AKA tonight. If
AKA
you're a normal
in 5 minutes, because I'm going to do.
Oh, sounds good to me. So anyone watching this, go over to Blue Nose Beer Reviews. Infinitely better channel.
Someone who chat shit.
Yeah, we all.
I don't wear dungarees though.
Exactly. That's got to be the new threshold for beer reviews. If it's not dungarees, you're getting a dislike. Going forward.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah, cheers. It was nice to speak to you for a brief moment, but I'm sure I'll jump back on.
Okay.
And thank you everyone for watching this coffee porter stream, which just descended into a little bit of a rant from me about London prices not really affecting craft beer, but we'll talk about that later on. I'll bring that point on a bit later. But anyway, thank you, Harry. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
And I shall see you all later.